We're going to talk today about NFTs, what they are, and my honest viewpoint on it. So hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a like and comment. That's obviously good so you don't miss anything. Right, I asked a question last night. What are your honest thoughts essentially on NFTs? So let's go through a few of the answers, right? Marmite, let's be honest here. Now, if you're into NFTs, let me know in the comments. If you like the fact of how they work, let me know. And if you'd like me to actually do NFTs, I'll explain my reasons why I've asked that question to see what your thought process is on it. Because I want to give you my honest, blunt thoughts on what I think this whole phase of the market is doing. So it could be fun, right? Stick around. So, I wanted to see other people's opinions first, right? So, people think, not really a fan. It's a little bit complicated. Too much hype? Rubbish. The next trend, I think it's here to stay. Yeah, possibly. The biggest bubble crypto will ever see. That's a bold claim. Only a few projects will succeed, like any market. So, there's a lot of things here. We're still in the Wild West. Current projects are extremely overhyped, but NFTs have a lot of potential in the future. I think potential is the key word there. And I do believe that as well, and I will explain why. So, people love it. People not really a fan. People think it's pure hype. People think it's this, that, and the other. But I do want to go over what NFTs are, because if you're new and you haven't a clue, we'll talk about it. So, the first article that I found was Mashable, right? This website. It focuses very much on the thing that I dislike the most about it, and I'll explain that as we come on to it. So essentially, the first part of this is NFTs, or a non-fungible token, are a type of crypto or created on a smart contract platform such as Ethereum, and they are a unique digital object that can be cool to own or even be profitable to trade. That's what I don't like about it. There you go, spoiler alert. So I'll explain why in a bit. So let's talk about why I think this is a pain. I think this article is absolutely shoddy because it only focuses on the one element, and that is essentially opportunist, money-grabbing gits who want to make money off a JPEG, right? I've said it. I've let it all out. I feel better now. That is where I feel the problem of NFTs are going to be. Now, let me go on to another explanation of what an NFT is. So when we start talking about how these kind of work, the world of NFTs are going crazy. As you can see, this trend is going up, up, up and away, right? That's simple. But if you then go on to, let's just say, what are NFTs? And I'll go on Investopedia. There's a website here that gives you a better description of what an NFT is. So we're going to read this one because it's logical. The first thing that you need to be aware of is these are very much proper items that you can have as your own personal things as well. Ownership. So would it be too far-fetched to suggest that you like certain things, you like certain properties, you like certain blue chip art, you like certain cars, collections, assets? Would it be too far-fetched to go, well, why don't I not tokenize it? That's what people do. Why not? That's where I feel the value and the proposition and the potential of NFT will be in the future. Not creating little gift sets and art collections and influencers, which we will come on to, doing a little unboxing of stuff to sell it for like a little rare event. If I've got a car and I love it to pieces, i.e. a classic car, and I want to prove the world that this is mine, there is only so many of this model in the world, and I have one of those models, I would rather that be on my blockchain wallet to show that proof of ownership is essentially where this is going. So when you start talking about this, understanding NFTs, yes, they can be traded. Yes, they can be, equal to a certain value. But for me, NFTs are going to get manipulated and kind of bubble washed, and we'll go over that in a minute, by people who are not really into the space but want to make money off it, which is kind of where people get wrecked. You guys are buying a asset created by someone who doesn't care, and the value could go either up or down. That's the problem here. That's where I think the market will kind of make its decision in the next coming months to see, is it a hype phase or is it a speculative bubble? And I'm leaning towards a speculative bubble as it stands, and I'll explain why in a minute. But when we start looking at all these kind of ownership stuff, why are they important? Well, you got all these different stuff here. Modern finance, trading, loan system, different types of assets for real estate, lending contracts to artwork. So we're already talking here about lending contracts. Non-fungible tokens can be used in such a various way. Not a meme, not a GIF, not all kinds of stuff. So you got to think of all the financial institutions of how you can prove ownership of something. NFTs, perfect, absolutely perfect. So you can see here on this article is much better understanding it and kind of getting the gist of it in terms of how smart contracts will work, how you can prove identification that that is yours, you physically own that asset, that is yours, or if it's a loan or if it's whatever, you can go, right, I'm going to do this, that and the other to work it out, but it's mine, I've got it, that's mine, I'm liable for that. So when we start talking about obviously where the lines of issues are going to come into it, we're talking about digital art now. Digital art is essentially the biggest thing that people only know NFTs for, in my opinion. When we talk about NFTs, for me, I see it as ownership, not art, right? We're going to see court controversy kind of potential happening of copyrighted materials passed off as their own and profited on the blockchain, and they're making money off it. That's where it's going to get sour, and that's where things are going to get very, very interesting as we develop into this space and as it grows. There's all these things that have to be ironed out. The thing is, there's no verification to prove that that item is yours. I could basically go, right, this bit of blue tack, it's mine, only mine. But someone can go and put the exact same thing on there. What's the difference? Well, that's where the difference lies. That's where the problem is. So we're seeing already here, I think this was to do with Halo, a creator making loads of money, but there's all kinds of mentions here about copyright and all kinds of stuff here, making multiple money stacks of art, whether it's created organically and authentic or if it's been copied. That's a problem. So moving on to the next bit is obviously influencers. We're seeing a massive amount of freaking influencers that are not in the crypto space. Logan Paul is an example, Paris Hilton, we've got Soulja Boy, we've got loads of these, you know, influencers or freaking music stars, whatever, making a lot of money on NFTs by doing things for their fans, which is fine. But the problem is, how many of these fans in their brand essentially know what an NFT is, what they are actually physically buying? That's where the problem, in my opinion, problem lies. And you got to think, it's a bull market. We know what happens in a bull market. Things go up, right? Weirdly. Hype gets better. It gets more interest. It gets more eyeballs. Therefore, people unboxing Pokemon. I love Pokemon. I love the idea of trading Pokemon cards. That's great. I did it when I was a kid. But at the end of the day, real, tangible asset in Ethereum here, it goes up or down. What if the value of those that you bought goes to nothing? That's where the problem lies, right? So you got to think that. That's obviously key. And then you got obviously this, why the NFT craze is a bubble waiting to pop. These are new articles starting to appear. People are starting to get kind of worried about the bubble essentially that it's been created here. And I could argue yes, and I can argue no. Yes, there's a bull market. Yes, things are going to go up. But it's more of how it's going to get used versus why it's going to get used, right? Essentially, you got to think, if influencers are coming in and creating, look, already on here, 10-second clip created by Digital Ash's Bleep sold for 6.7 million. This is getting silly. So you got to think, small little elements to it. Yeah, I like the idea that people, as collectibles, whether you're a gamer, whether you're an influencer, a music star, if you are like giving away certain things that's iconic and limited, that's fine. But these big 7-figure sums, it's going to get very, very interesting, isn't it? Really, it is, let's be honest. So when we start talking about bubbles, now, sorry, I've got to talk about it. You got displacement, the start of things. Ooh, hello. Something new. Then you got the boom, bang, off it goes. Then you got the euphorical kind of feelings of, oh my god, this is growing to the moon, right? I think we're starting in the profit taking soon. I think we're in euphoric stages, and I think people will be cashing out soon. I think when you start seeing the likes of Logan Paul, Paris Hilton, all these kind of big, massive celebrities going, oh, 6 million, thank you very much. You got to think, well, when people are talking about in the normal terms, we talk about this investing, we tend to walk away, don't we? Tend to, oh, tops in, guys, tops in. Shit. Me granny's cat just told me to buy Bitcoin. I think the top's in, you know, we get those kind of vibes. That's where I think it's going to be a problem. I think that could be the phase of NFTs that could make it a little bit distorted, essentially. Whereas the use case of NFTs, bob on. Let's be honest, ownership of an asset is brilliant. But the digital side of it, I don't know. Right, that's where the problem is. So if you want to learn how to buy NFTs, yeah, cool. There's plenty of websites. This is Mintable. So I've never really used it before, but this is one of the bigger ones. There's also another one called Rareable. So essentially, yeah, multiple freaking loads of money. Let's be honest. There's 6-7 figures have been traded here every single day, right? On random stuff. You've got to be very, very careful. But, you know, for me, if I was to do NFTs, I would do something super limited, but I'll give it all away. There's no point buying it, let's be honest. Yes, people can trade it and have fun with it, but why should I be selling something that is, you know, basically, let's be honest, something digital? You know, that's the scariest thing. That is where, as it stands to current live date, where the biggest hype of the use case is. Stuff like this. Not the actual use case of why a non-fungible token was created. Someone's obviously, you know, taken the leap of faith here and gone, right, this will work, cool. It's obviously done well. We can see that, we can't deny that. But we've got to remember the full-on use case here of what an NFT is. Ownership, identity, all kinds of stuff. Not a cash grab, not a hype cycle to get as much money as you can from creating these little cards and making them scarce. Because at the end of the day, when a bear market is here, are people like Logan Paul, Paris Hilton, even some of the bigger YouTubers in crypto going to be selling stuff or even producing content? We've seen it before in the past. 2017, all these big players were on YouTube, daily content, hyping. Where are they now? Where are they now? They're not here. They don't even know what's happening in the market. So you got to be careful, right? You are buying something that could go up or down. It's on a live market. Whereas if you are owning an asset and it is on the smart contract as a blockchain, as a non-fungible token, you're not, right? It's not a live asset. It's on the blockchain. It proves that it is yours, but the value of the asset is not going to go down if it's sitting on your driveway, for example, or if it's something within a contract as a legal notice through the house that you bought maybe. There's all kinds of ways of doing it. Not buying a kitty with a rainbow tongue. Let's be honest. So let me know what you think. Is it a hype cycle? Is it a bubble? I think the potential is unbelievable with NFTs. I really do. I think it's going to be great. But we're going to have problems. We're going to get people taking the piss. We know we are, right? Let's be honest. But doesn't mean it's a bad thing, right? Yes, it's going to get interest into the world of the crypto space, but it's a different way of dealing with things. It's a different way of doing things. It's really interesting. It's like, it really is. It's gambling, let's be honest. If you are buying someone's asset, you're hoping for that brand to continue going up, or it's going to be worth more as it gets more scarce. Whether that happens in the future, we don't know. It's an untested time. But let me know what you think. Honest thoughts out there. Hope you enjoy. Let me know what you think. And yeah, see you tomorrow.